Sign up
That's
for
right.
that.
It's $29. You guys,
Link is in the
link
show
is in the show
notes.
notes there.
Yeah. Check the show
So,
notes.
but one of the curiosities I have around this is you said, I like to travel, you like to family and travel, but you also have these systems in the business. So how would you recommend someone enforce or have their finger on the pulse? So if you're traveling a lot, how do you have your
Yeah.
finger on the pulse? How do you monitor? What are the KPIs or the KRAs of your business or that you teach your clients to make sure it's like, hey, I'm traveling and I also know that things are getting done. And if things aren't getting done, you have their finger on pulse, so there's the least amount of consequence. Because sometimes it's like I come back and it's like, shoot, I got to pick up this mess. Versus I come back, but I was kind of keeping the consequences at bay the entire time during my travels or during my time away. So what would you say to that to anyone who has that curiosity?
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be different a little bit again in every business. And like you were saying, we need to know what are the KPIs, what are your key areas of opportunity, like what needs to happen. And so having metrics for them for whatever it is your business is in terms of daily metrics, things they can measure, right? And so whether it's calls made per day, leads collected, people contacted, like I don't, again, depends on the business, but most businesses circle around either client acquisition, it's client acquisition or it's retaining clients in some fashion or serving clients in some fashion. And so how is that getting organized? But when I leave, something that as I'm traveling, as I'm gone, I make sure that one, your lead operator like needs a full day with you before you head out of town and you're going to be completely missing, right? For me, this is what worked very well for me for years because they'll keep things moving and they know reach out to me in emergency. They're the only one that's going to reach out to me and they're going to give updates to me as well. But that key person getting time because they know they can always reach me when I'm home. They can send me a voice memo. They can, any questions they have. But typically I meet with the operator once a week, right? We'll meet for 90 minutes, go over last week, what went well, what could have gone better. What areas are they can we take up a notch or two? Maybe they're feeling good with it, but not great. Maybe they're feeling great, but not amazing. Like, where can we level up? And so every week having 90 minutes with your operator, no matter what. So we have that, right? But if I'm going to be leaving the country and I want to be just gone, I'm going to spend a full day and I'm going to walk through like every day with that person. And we're going to have their like, okay, here's what we want to get done by here, and having times of updates that they want to get updates from their people. And it's really showing them how to manage the thing as if they were you, but saying, hey, get an update by here, every day at the end of the day. If you can send me, and I'd have my operator email. I said I might not check it for 2 or 3 days. I might check it every night. I don't know. But every night they send an update with what happened that day, what went well, what could have gone better, any questions. And if they have any questions, I'm like, feel free if there's something that's time sensitive to send me a text. Just give me 48 hours to respond to it. Very rare do they bother me on vacation. I mean, I think I've had 2 or 3 times where they are like, I need you, and I was away. And that's over a 21-year span, and I know, Mike, I used to travel. I was gone at least 2 weeks a month, like out of the year. So setting up expectations, but just doing a walkthrough, letting them walk through it with you, like whatever plan is in place, or helping them create that plan together. Or if you created it already or you have it, it's just, hey, let's do a full review day to day to make sure you're feeling confident in executing the plan, while I'm out. And then setting something where like if they beat or match performance that you produced, whether it was the week prior or it was the year prior or whatever it might be, doing something fun for them to celebrate them, and so making it exciting for them to match or beat while you're away, right? And I would say this is still in those first like 3 years of a business, because eventually as it grows, like the operator, they've got it, and it's really more pouring into that person. What personal time do you have with that person? Relationships that you build with their families, taking care, sending their family on a vacation to just say thank you for just being amazing, right? And when you keep people first and you treat them great, they're excited to give back. And you don't do it for them to give back, but it always comes around, And what I found too is as I've worked with operators and developed and then helped them open their dream, business, And they left me, which people would always be like, aren't you afraid they're going to leave you? I'm like, I hope they do eventually. I don't want them to, but like, that's the goal, is to prepare them to. They don't want to leave until they know they have someone that's going to fill their shoes at a high level. And for years, I've had those people still, hey, do you need anything? Do you need help? Are your operators good? Do they need any coaching? And it's just really cool to see that. And it's because they knew how much you cared about them and how much you poured into them, not just business, but them helping live a life that they love, them getting to where they want to be. And they never want to leave you high
Yeah.
and dry, because they're so appreciative for everything you've done for
Yeah,
them.
this is really great. This is like a master class on staff development and delegation, which is awesome. So